Hi guys, Elmarie from Worcester, Western Cape, South Africa. Welcome to anyone who's new, and thank you to any returning viewers. I have recently heard that I actually have viewers. Yay! So thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. You can, if you like this episode, just like and subscribe, or buy me a coffee. I am trying to get my social media stuff a bit more juiced up, but for that, I actually need the buy me a coffee thing. So you can just follow the link that's down below. Also, admin wise, I just wanted to add that yes, I am a Skillshare affiliate. That link is also down below. Skillshare is an online learning platform that I can really highly recommend. If you want more information, just go to a previous episode because I talk about that quite a lot there. But yes, Skillshare is really a very, very, very good learning platform and affordable. So if you're interested in that, please follow the link and subscribe. First 14 days are free. So what do you have to lose? You can just go check it out and see what you can learn. I've done quite a few stuff about marketing. I've done quite a few stuff about branding. And then I've also watched quite a few stuff about sewing and stuff like that. Anywho, that's that. Oh, let's talk about where I am at. I live in Worcester, for those of you who have not noticed yet. And Worcester is a town in the Western Cape of South Africa. If you don't know where South Africa is, just check a map. It's Africa right down at the bottom. And it's winter in the Southern Hemisphere, and it's definitely going into winter right now. It's June, so it's strangely cold. I know in Europe, for instance, 24 degrees Celsius is a fantastic summer day, but actually in the Southern Hemisphere, that's kind of still cold. And yeah, I'm wearing my sweater. I'm wearing a cowl. This is probably my go-to cowl for I don't know what else to wear. I'll show you guys how this thing works. I don't even know where the pattern is anymore, but I can actually put it around my head. So I just tuck it in like this, and I can keep my ears warm. See? I'd rather not say what my husband calls it, but yeah, never mind. I can keep my ears warm. I have two of them, and I actually want to knit a cowl with a proper hoodie at some point. And that really isn't that difficult. You just sort of, never mind. Long story. Okay, so let's move on. What am I drinking? Coffee. I'm drinking coffee. It's cold, guys. Really it is. It's really a strange cold. It's desert weather. So we have it's actually quite sunny out today. We've had a lot of rain, which we are grateful for, but we have in June still, we have really like sunny days and not rainy days. And as I said, 25 degrees. Sometimes we actually in June get like a real like a heat wave even. I mean, June is one of those months that you never know what's going to happen. And but when it starts like early mornings and in the evenings, it gets really cold. So again, probably not cold for anybody living in Canada or Europe, but for us, it's cold. Anyway, so second cup of coffee for the day. This is a South African handmade one, by the way. I think I already showed that in previous episode. We got that on our trip, our Karoo trip. We've got a second one. I bought this one for me. And the other one says, Ek smaak jou stikkend, which in Afrikaans means, I really like you. Which I gave to my husband. and I meant it. Okay, so let's move on to knitting stuff. I have so many things that I'm going to frog once I've done this episode. It's not even funny. I'll talk about the frogging bit now. Let me show you my effort. And it's still wet. But you'll notice it's a shawl. And I'll put it on like for 2 seconds and take it off again because it's still wet. So it's just a basic asymmetrical shawl. I used, sorry, hold on a moment. Okay. I used the, my normal liner shawl just as a reference. And I just, did the normal thingy that I usually do. I really want this panel to show in front, so I'll do it this way. And I always, because I make it nice and long, I can actually make a knot there so that it doesn't fall off. That's one of the things I don't like about scarf. I don't do scarves because I can't do that with the scarf. So, okay, if you look at it close up, you'll see I just did this like slip stitch thingy over there. And I'll put this on Instagram, details and stuff on Instagram as soon as it's properly dried. But I made this with a bamboo yarn that I got from Nova Yarns, which is called, I think, Earth Yarn. But I'll put, as I said, the details down below. This is exclusively dyed for her. I finished this. Let me just show you guys. Okay, wait, let me go get the yarn. Hey, sorry. I should probably have thought about getting the yarn that I used. This is how much I have left of this color over here, the darker one. You'll also see it. Let me take this off. It really is still wet. And put the other one back on, and then I'll talk about this further. I absolutely love this yarn. As I mentioned, it is exclusively dyed for Nova Yarns. I will put the link for her shop down below. Let me just get the right side here. I love a cowl because I can do that. Just like put it over my head. Okay, so this one over here is this one, this color. And then this side, the lighter side, I only have this left over. And you'll see I did the type of a light fade thingy over here. Very like light fade. And then by the time I got to this, I got bored. I thought, geez, I have to do something here. So I thought, okay, just do like a slip stitchy color work idea. I can't really say this is mosaic knitting. Doesn't really look like it, does it? But anyway, that's what I did. And I added this. I have quite a lot of Moya Caress in my stash, and this is a very lovely color. I love this color. It's called Persian Green. And I originally paired these two together, like that little ball over there, which you will see there. And then when I started running out of yarn, I skipped over to this one and I paired these two together. really like the end result. And then by the time I got to like there, I got bored again, and I thought, well, it's big enough now, I'm gonna stop. And I just added like this small little panel of just garter stitch to level everything out again, because if you go, you'll see like there's like this ridge, which I love that like immediate like difference. So there's this like ridge over here, and then I went to this, which is basically stocking knit. And if you go over from that to that very quickly and you use the same needle size, it's going to curl up on itself. So that's why I added the last garter stitch panel. It is, I think, more than 2 meters long now that it's been washed and blocked. Let me just see. Oh, you know, I'm very short, by the way. So it's like, that's a meter. Maybe just use the other side, the flat side, right? That's a meter. Yeah, 2 and a bit. And it's really nice because it like goes around my neck, I think about 3 times. So it's very easy for me to control the whole thing. That's what, as I said, if I make a shawl, I like something that I can knot at the bottom and just tuck underneath so it doesn't fall off, slip off the whole time. I know you can do that with a scarf, but somehow if I do it with a scarf, it always ends up, you know, slipping off anyway, and that just works on my nerves. So yeah, anyway, sip of coffee. I used Eddie's, just the Eddie circular. This is the 3mm, if I remember correctly, 3 or 3.5. Anyway, it's my go-tos. Eddie fixed needles. They've got the lace tips. I like these tips. Especially, I just like the tips. I really just like the tips. Anyway, so that's my finished object. I should have had finished object socks by now, which let's continue on to the whips and the frogging. I'm thinking of frogging these socks. This was for one of the class examples that I started. So this is how far I am. I'm actually on the heel, and I'm not liking it. I'm not liking the, I don't know. I'm just not enjoying the process right now. I don't, and I always get that when I start doing classes, that sometimes I just lose interest of the actual process of using it for myself. And in this case, I'm thinking of frogging these socks. I frogged another pair of DK socks, but that's because I did them 2 at a time. And one of the negatives for me, and it's not for everybody, for me, 2 at a time, I struggle not to have like a ladder on the sides, especially when I get to the cuff. And when I do top socks, when I get to the cuff, I tend to have a ladder there, and I really don't like that. So I frog those, and I'm gonna probably frog these, even though I am past the heel and I am back onto the actual just knitting in the round. I was thinking about it and thinking, you know what, I'm gonna end up finishing this one and going meh about the other one. So I'm thinking I'm gonna frog it, or maybe not frog it, just pull it out, and start with a cuff down sock. I don't know. Anyway, I've got this ball that cake that I did also use as a sample for the classes. So I'm in a bit of a I don't know what to do phase. But when I feel like this about something, it's either gonna lie around like forever, or I need to frog it and start again. And I think I'm gonna be there because I need these socks. I really do. I need some more socks in my cupboard because I don't have a lot of socks and I wear them like until they have holes and then I make another pair. So that's ridiculous. I should have at least a pair of socks for a day, right? Like 7 socks. Like you have 7 and then I need another pair of 7. So it's like 2 weeks worth of socks. I need to have 14 pairs of socks in my cupboard that are wearable, that I can really just rotate and wash. Otherwise, I end up messing them up. So, probably getting frogged. Maybe. Not sure yet. Okay. The other definite frog that's going to happen today, and as I said, as soon as we're done here, I'm done here, is this one. And this is the Soldat Nut crop. Firstly, because I've decided I don't want to crop. Secondly, because I decided I don't think I want to do color work sweaters. I know, right? That's not nice, but really that's how I'm feeling right now. Every time I start a color work sweater, seriously, like 3/4 or halfway through the color work, I just freeze up. I just stop. And it's not working for me. So I've never actually finished one color work sweater, and I had a ton of UFOs lying around that I just frogged. So trying to make something that you don't really want to make is just silly, right? Because I actually really love color work. I love a color work beanie. I want to cast on a color work beanie ASAP. I've had that pattern forever, and it's the one with the sheepies on. I love them. So I thinking I'm gonna do that and frog this and use the yarn that I dyed up, which is this color. I showed this before, I know. I'm just showing it again. This color. And this color, these 3. With that dark brown for a stripy type setup. I do think I have enough yarn for that. And I just said I don't want a cropped sweater, but technically all my sweaters are cropped. They like hip height. So I love these colors. And I have a second skein of this one over here. And I have a second skein, 1.5 skeins of the dark color. So these should be enough to make a sweater. I technically have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 skeins of this. That should get me a sweater. And yeah, I'm just not, I don't know, guys. I'm just not feeling, I don't know what's going on with me at the moment, but right now I'm a bit, I don't know what's going on with me. Anyway, so this color will probably still be the top. I'm just gonna make a plain old raglan sweater. Just cast it on. Probably going to use the flax sweater as a reference. Flax tin cannons. This is a 4.5 millimeter 40 centimeter Addy, which I'll be using. And that's the thing, I think it's the whole thing in my head about the color work not being too tight. I just don't want to think at the moment. I think that's the big thing, is that I don't want to think. All right, on to my next possible froggy thing. This you would have seen on Instagram. I started this for my husband. This is how much I have left. And the reason for frogging this would be simply, I really don't like these needles. This is just a scarf. He very politely requested a scarf. It's the 2x2 ribbing. You'll see it over there. And maybe if I can find just a pair of 10 millimeter circular needles, I'll continue. But I hate these needles. I can't even explain to you guys how much I hate these needles. And I'm going to need at least another skein of this one, which I'm going to have to spin up before I continue. So, I have a couple of other options. He actually asked for something lighter than this. But he wants a dark colorway, not something, and he wants it in the blue. And I don't have anything like that on my shelf that I can actually say, okay, I'll use this. He wanted me to knit them with cottons, and you know what? Now that I'm looking at this, I've got a gray over there that might work. I've got a gray that I could maybe incorporate with this, but that's a very much a thinner yarn. Anyway, now I'm talking to myself. These needles used to be my aunt's. I don't like plastic needles and I don't like straights. So when I start knitting with straight needles, at least they have to be like wood or something like that. I really don't like knitting with them. It feels awkward in my hands. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I can find a 10 millimeter needle somewhere. But I need at least a 9. It's not going to work with anything else. I could also just, because this is really thick. You'll see it. It's actually really, really thick. These are hand spun, and they are chain plied. So I can possibly do something different. I love this color though. See, and it's knitting up really nice. And with chain plying, you keep a lot of the colors intact. So I almost have a stripey with it. Almost. And I'm thinking I should just like maybe pull it out and make it a bit, you know, narrower. Maybe they're like two of these panels that should bring me about like there, which my cast on would be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26. That should bring me about there. I don't know. I don't normally knit scarves, and he doesn't want a cowl, he wants a scarf. So I don't know, I haven't made up my mind yet, and I need to knit him that scarf before winter truly strikes, because it's going to be cold. Anyway, that's that for knitting content. I think I've got, guys, I have so many things in my head going on. It's just like the hamster is going wild at the moment. The hamster, okay. That's a South African joke. So if you don't understand, if you're watching this and you're not from South Africa, it's we say it's the hamster on this little wheel just going brrr the whole time. Yeah, well, that's where I am now. I think a lot of the stuff happening around me is just very busy. I also need to sew up some bags for the shop. Oh, yes, let's go on to what's happening in my shop. So, I have decided, I've made a definite decision, and it took a long time, because I believe in supporting other people and I believe in supporting other brands. I really do. It's just that I've come to the conclusion that I'm supporting way too many other brands and things, and I have my own brand. So it's not like I don't have anything of my own. I'm actually, my business is a cup of yarn. I'm a hand dyer, and I'm doing more work I've got a lot of other people's stuff in my shop, which doesn't quite make sense. So this is what I've decided to do. I had Moya in my shop now for years. I've been selling Moya for, I think, 4 years now. I have decided to discontinue that. I also removed the t-shirt yarn from my shop. I'm basically removing anything that is not mine except for the needles and the crochet hooks, because I can't make them myself. And I am focusing on my own brand. As soon as all the Moya is out, I will be dyeing my own cottons again. And yeah, that's that. That's just basically that. That is a decision that I've made, and I'm going to stick to it. I've got 2, you can see the cottons over here. I've got tons of them, like this, boxes full of them. So they are going to be dyed, and I'm going to be selling them. This is about well, it's a sock weight really. And I've got one that is quite thinner. Yeah, that's a lace weight. So I've got a lace weight and a sock weight. Those are the ones I will be dyeing, not DK. I'm not going to bother with DK. And then as far as my own brand is concerned, I am having a big fat difficulty again with, yes, never mind, long story. So I've decided that my sock base is going to be consistent. It's going to be one base, and it is the same base that you will get if you buy African Expressions Soul. The rest of the bases I am going to sell and just not bother with them anymore. And my DK weights and thicker yarns, bulky weight yarns, I will spin up myself. How's that for an idea? So I'll be spinning them. I've got all the spin wheels. I've got a truckload of fibre, lots of it. I've got, for instance, 2 kilos of mohair that's just sitting around that I need to spin. So those will be, I will do singles with them. If anybody's interested in singles, I will be doing singles, and then I'll be plying them together to give a DK, and the 3-ply will actually be the bulky, the chunky yarn. That will be the one that I have here. Knitting Ludie's sweater on it. This is the other one that I've got that I've already spun up. So as you can see, this is really, really bulky. And I will specify in the shop, what this is suitable for this is suitable for this. For instance, he doesn't have a sensitive skin at all, but this is going to be too scratchy for anybody who has a sensitive skin to wear as a scarf. It will make a very nice sweater though, because you wear stuff under your sweater or a cardigan or something like that, that's not like raw against your skin. I wouldn't use it for a shawl for myself. Although what I'm thinking of doing is actually, when I finished the scarf for Liddy, to just wash it and put, yes, stay soft. Wash it and just put Stay Soft in there and see, once it's washed, how it actually reacts. Because it will be interesting to see if how much it does bloom and how much softer it gets, because then it will probably be fine for against skin products, or at least a beanie. I mean, why not? So that's that for shop news. Guys, it took such a long time. I'm still not quite. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I'm quite open about where I am. I've struggled from moving from working full time for a whole year, and it's been a year already. No, actually, it's August. I'm finished already for a year now in August, and I had such a big struggle to make that mind shift, from working for someone else, coming back to working for myself again. And so many things have changed in that period of time, and I'm not even talking about COVID. I'm not even talking about COVID. COVID is like the least of the issues right here. But to be honest, it's been really difficult to do that mind shift, you know. And I have to tell you, I'm losing complete track of time right now. It's June. Last year, August was the first year. It's more than a year now that I'm done, that I stopped working for someone else. And before that, we moved to the farm. There were so many things that happened that it's taking a long time for me just to get my feet back on the ground. But I think slowly but surely I am getting there. I am getting there. So, what's going to be happening on the 12th of June? I have another class at Nova Yarns in Durbanville. This will be hand spinning on a drop spindle class. I am looking forward to that. And and then from the 15th to the 17th, I will not be in Worcester. I will actually be going to a friend in Beaufort with my spin wheels, teaching her to spin. That will be the one thing. And then the other thing is my Ludie will be at it's going for a hunting session close by. So he was actually invited by a guy who said he can invite 2 other people, and he's inviting somebody that he knows won't get drunk and stupid. So that's why he's going. Interesting fact about my husband is that he doesn't like killing stuff. He doesn't like killing animals. He believes it's necessary. So it's on my brother-in-law's farm. So when they go, they're actually just culling out animals. They have too many bucks. So then they have to cull them out. Otherwise, they have serious problems. And it supports the farm. You know, there's a logic thing behind it. But he's not one of those people that says, yes, I'm going to go hunting, I'm going to go kill stuff. It is something that he does out of necessity. And it's like he really likes eating mutton, but we eat mutton. We try and steer away from lamb. Both of us feel that's unfair. It's unfair to the animals. You know, they should at least have some time to grow up and live and, you know, do their sheepy stuff before you actually slaughter them. And both of us, I don't know, I'm weird that way, but the new practices of being more humane to the animals seem so inhumane to me. It's not even funny. And that can be a very long discussion. But the old way of doing things worked, and they still work. And if we could just keep to that, I think that it would be better for us and for the animals. I believe if you put sheep on a truck and you send them to the abattoir where they are being slaughtered in bulk, you end up losing respect for those animals. Whereas if you have to take them yourself, slaughter that animal yourself, you keep contact with your animals, but you also keep in mind that is a real animal. It's a real animal that you are slaughtering. So you will take care of your animals better. And we've seen that so many times. We have seen how people take care of their animals when those animals are actual real animals. So no, I'm not a vegan. I'm not going to go vegan unless it's for health reasons. But I do believe in taking care of what we are supposed to be taking care of. And in many cases, people just don't. And they're losing more and more of the I don't know, the need to take care of something if it's not really a something. If that makes any logical sense. If you have to slaughter that animal yourself, it's a something. It's a somebody, it's a something, it's a living thing. If you just put them on a truck and somebody else kills them for you, it stops being a something or someone or a real animal. It just becomes a number. Yes, I do have issues with that. So, humans are stupid. Humans are really stupid sometimes. That's a long separate story about the stupidity of humanity. I've actually well, if you're watching this and you didn't know this, yes, I am a Christian, full-blown, born-again, charismatic Christian. No, not on the hyper-charismatic side, but just believing in the Holy Spirit and in His works, all of that. So I've been reading just through the Bible again, and I'm in Acts now, and I've just realized again, human stupidity. There is absolutely no medicine except for God Himself for human stupidity, because I realize, you know, as we look at things and the simplicity of how we are supposed to be living compared to how complicated we make things. No medicine. No medicine. I would really suggest God, the Bible, Jesus. That's what I would suggest. It really does simplify things. Anyway, long story. Went on a tangent. Not going to go on there now. I hope you guys are having a great week so far, and that you will have a fantastic weekend. The weekend starts tomorrow, I think. And that you are enjoying your knitting and your crocheting. Those of you guys who believe you only knit in winter, pick up those needles. And yes, support the locals, please. I think more than ever we need your support, and we really appreciate it. I appreciate every single person who buys a skein of yarn for me. At the moment, I am still continuing with the campaign for drought relief. I've heard of different platforms, so I'm thinking of splitting the money that I get in from different platforms. I've heard of a more established platform, that's possibly where I'll be sending the money I get in from sales to. But yes, for now I'm continuing with it because the Eastern Cape still hasn't gotten any rain in the rural areas, the farm areas. They get rain in town, in the city areas, but the rural areas, some of those farms, they have not gotten any rain whatsoever. And the same goes for the Northern Cape. So yeah, I'll continue with that one. And that is done with all the blabbering bits. I'm gonna love you and leave you. I'm gonna put this again. I'm not editing this. This is real life, and I'm just not editing it. I'm also thinking of starting a second channel, but I'll talk to you guys later about that. That will be where I actually am going to talk about the Bible stuff. So if you're interested in that, just keep your eyes open. If you're not interested in that, don't bother. But I'm actually thinking of just doing a second channel just about Bible study, really. I think there are a lot of teaching stuff going on and a lot of that sort of stuff. I'm actually just thinking of doing like almost a Bible study journal, and for the simple reason that it will motivate me to do it. Actually study the Bible. So yeah, I'm thinking of doing that, but I'm gonna let you guys know. And I will also start an Instagram like setup for that if I do it. That's still something I'm praying about. Okay guys, love you. Have a lovely week, the rest of it, and enjoy the weekend. And hopefully this time it won't take 2 weeks for me to make a new video. I didn't have any content, so I didn't bother. Bye.